Today, it's really hard to do that with handles right here. It's time to throw out your GPU, massive GPU price increases incoming, RX 8000 gets spotted, and Black Friday is here. I've got some really nice PC hardware deals for you. Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Okay, it's news time, and first up for today, I thought I'd quickly go over just a few new deals for you that I found that I really do like. And as always, I'll have affiliate links down in the description below to these. They don't cost you anything more, and it helps the channel out. First up, we have Power Color's Hellhound RX 6600 GPU. It's down to just $186.99. So a very inexpensive graphics card, not that bad at all, even by today's standards. Now it does only come with 8 GB of GDDR6, but it's definitely not a bad price for today. And you can actually see, you know that I like to do this, that it actually is a real deal. Just a month ago, it was $288. So we're talking down over $100, definitely at a nice price. Next up, we have, if you're looking for an Intel CPU, the 13700KF. It is a 16-core CPU, and it's down to $336. Like I said, when Intel announced the 14th gen CPUs, I would definitely wait for 13th gen to go on sale, and now it's happening. With that said, if you're looking for one of the fastest gaming CPUs, as well as a fairly decent multi-threaded performer, look no further than the 7900X3D. This 12-core, 24-thread processor is now just $433. Next, we have the Odyssey G9. Now, this is a really expensive monitor, no matter how you slice it, but right now it's 38% off. This is a 49-inch OLED, just monster curved. It's basically two monitors side by side. It's so massive, 240 hertz. Really great monitor. Once again, 38% off, but still $1,000. Now, if you're looking for storage, and unfortunately, if you're not wanting to store for gaming, because we are already seeing games not really able to use HDDs anymore, but if you just need a ton of it, the Seagate 20 terabyte hard drive is now down to just $269. That saves you $430. And once again, these will be down in the description below. And next up, Intel's upcoming Meteor Lake CPU, this is actually talking about the integrated GPU, actually beats AMD's Radeon 780M, meaning Intel's Meteor Lake integrated GPU is actually beating AMD's integrated GPUs now. As you can see down here, this is a Geekbench 6 OpenCL benchmark, and as you can see, Meteor Lake's integrated graphics got 33,948 compared to the Radeon 780M's 30,296. Not only that, but you can actually see a fairly decent, though absolutely lower end GPU, the RX 6400, scored just 32,997. Meaning, if this is legit, it looks like Intel's Meteor Lake could take the integrated GPU crown. And let's just say, given the fact that AMD's pretty much been completely dominant in this, to the point of where they're effectively alone in integrated GPUs because they completely own the market, with the fact that Intel is now catching up, that's great news, especially because it will spur AMD to do even better, than Intel to come back even better, to the point of where lower end GPUs and maybe even more mid-range GPUs could end up being completely obsolete. Once again, the Radeon 780M is actually AMD's best integrated GPU in their newest Ryzen 7040 APUs. And next up, we actually have a couple really bad stories that go hand in hand, so I'm going to go over both of those fairly quickly, although this first one is really, really bad. As you can see right here, RTX 4090 GPUs are being taken apart for parts and then effectively made into AI cards. You can see down here it says some Chinese companies are currently acquiring GeForce cards for the purpose of transforming them into AI accelerators. Now, what they're actually doing is they're taking these 4090s, and you can see it right down here. They're effectively turning them into blower cards. Now, you might be wondering why in the world they would do that, but keep in mind that blower cards are significantly better for when you have a bunch of cards right next to each other in like a server style. So that's why they're effectively having to do this, just because that's really the only way that you can do it. They'll get way too hot if you have like a regular gaming GPU, the way that they actually pull air in versus how blower cards work. Now, I will say, as you know, regular dual or triple fan style cards are, so there is at least a slight question of longevity with these, but they should work if they're able to throttle them down enough, of course. And that is actually likely the reason we've been seeing price hikes, not just in China, but even in the US. Just a quick reminder, you can see right now I actually have this set to lowest price. The cheapest 4090 on Newegg right now is basically $2,000, $1,950, just wildly more expensive than it was even just a couple months ago. And yeah, you can pretty well see why. Look at this. I mean, this is pallets of 4090s being changed into accelerator cards. And obviously a big reason for this, or really the only reason for this, is because the US effectively banned NVIDIA's H100 cards and things like that. Now, they have also banned the 4090, but as we know, it says earlier reports highlighted a shortage of 4090 causing a surge in its global average price. NVIDIA was said to be supporting domestic board partners in China with large GPU shipments. Now, it appears that these board partners had alternative plans, meaning they're just taking them and turning them into AI cards, likely so they could sell them for quite a bit more money. And this is actually where the even worse news comes in. You can see right here, it says Dell prohibits sales of AMD's Radeon RX 7900 XTX, 7900 XT, Pro, W7900, as well as the upcoming MI300. You can see it says NVIDIA devised a performance measurement criteria where any chip or GPU that exceeds a 4800 TPP metric should fall under restrictions. And then there's the sales advisory. It is basically a sales advisory from Dell, and it highlights a range of AMD products that have now been prohibited from sales within China, as well as 23 other locations. You can see it's AMD's Radeon RX 7900 XTX, 7900 XT, as well as the Radeon Pro W7900. Basically, if this is anything like the 4090, there's at least a chance that we could see a whole bunch of both 7900 XTX as well as regular XT cards massively rise in price. And really, it's starting to sort of feel like it was before with the massive shortage. Of course, we haven't heard any reports yet that AMD is going to send like a whole bunch of GPUs over to China really quickly just so they can get a really big sale in, kind of like how NVIDIA at least seemed to do it, but I certainly wouldn't put it past them. And also, I have no doubt that there's plenty of companies in China that have been able to get around this restriction, so I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing prices go drastically up for now AMD's higher end GPUs. And for all we know, this could keep continuing down. Let's just say it looks like it could be happening all over again. And lastly for today, I have a really interesting story from Video Cards regarding AMD's next-gen RX 8000 GPUs. Actually, it looks like they've been spotted. As you can see down here, it says, it appears that AMD has now decided which GPUs from the RDNA 4 series will be the first to deploy. The GFX 1200 and GFX 1201 are two unnamed graphics processors which have now been spotted in Linux patches for the LLVM project. It says the GFX levels tell us what architecture is being used by individual processors. It can help us determine how similar each GPU is and what features are supported. And when we go down here, it actually says, according to this entry, the RDNA 4 is on a different GFX branch. So it's actually going to be a bigger overhaul than RDNA 1 was to RDNA 2. Not only that, but he actually mentions two IDs, which you recently heard from me, Navi 44 and Navi 48. Remember, in this video from Red Gaming Tech, he actually discussed both Navi 48 and Navi 44. And at least for now, it's looking like that's what these are. You can see that's the RX 8600 series and RX 8700 series. Basically, AMD is gearing up to release their next-gen GPUs, and to be honest, given the fact that they're already starting to put it in Linux, they could be coming at least a little bit sooner than we originally thought. And of course, don't forget that in this video, Red Gaming Tech actually goes over the fact that supposedly Navi 48 and Navi 44 are going to be really small, monolithic dies, so they're fairly cheap for AMD to produce, which means they can sell them for quite a bit less, hopefully quite a bit less than their current gen GPUs. So while that does it for today, do you think AMD's RX 8000 GPUs are going to be quite a bit cheaper? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to check out some of those awesome Black Friday deals in the description below. And as always, have a great day.